Good afternoon, everyone. Let me thank you all for being here today. Today, I'm gonna present about my company, Sohan. Have you heard about my company before? How many of you heard about my company? Please raise your hand. No one? Anyone? Today, you will recognize and learn about our company better than ever before. I like my company because of 3 reasons. My company loves cars, and I also love cars. And there are many beauties are working in our company, and they give a lot of money to me. So I like my company. Do you know her? She's the one of the co-worker in our company. Isn't she beautiful? No? Any of you haven't seen her before? I guess some of you might seen on the TV because she's shown up in famous TV show in Korea. I prepare a brief clip for better understanding.
Okay, and it's very difficult to. Okay, no problem.
She appeared in Muhan Dojo before. Do you know racing series? She's one of the well-known racer in Korea. Even you don't know because you might don't like motorsport, but she's very famous in motorsports. And our team, Sohan, Popular Motors, is also famous for the racing. And I want to ask one more question. Why you guys are here? Why you guys are here today? As I know, you might be curious about our company history and brief information and some QCDT related information because that will be very beneficial for your future business, right? So today I'm going to tell you about this information at the next slide. History, QCDT, and benefits. Let's begin with my presentation with our brief history. We are running our business under the slogan, from the first to the best. It means we always want to be a best company in Korea and the world. We are established in 1974, which is our automobile industry are highly growing up. So we are the one of the leading company at the time. And now we have 14 subsidiaries in Korea and overseas. And our annual revenue is 2.1 billion USD, not Korean won, which is very high, I think. And also 2,678 employees are working in our group, Sohan. We have many customers. It's divided into 2 parts, OEM and Tier 1 customers. Our major business revenues comes from OEM company, HMC and KNC and Blue. We recently rewarded by Blue, which is very high volume, so we are very proud of that project. And also we have other Tier 1 customers like Honeywell. My Sean knows well about the company because they are very famous for aerospace business. And also Global Warner is also famous company for turbochargers. Maybe Gina might know about that because I saw her presentation that they are running turbo business in India or somewhere. So annually we are invested $93.8 million for investment, which is very big because the amount is about 5% of our total revenue. So I think it's very meaningful. We are always invest for being a best company in the world. We are producing several parts. It might be very difficult to understand at first time. We are producing chassis. Have you heard about it? It's kind of body parts of the car, down under the car. And they are included many specific parts, which are made by COFCO, which is our mother company, and Sohan Industry. What Contact is making engine-related products. Have you heard about Egr Valve? If you are good at this report or something, you might heard about Egr Valve, because that was once an issue for Volkswagen. Recently, have you heard about? They are modifying the Egr Valve for better performance or something, and this technology is very efficient and very important recent days. And we also produce vacuum pump, which is produce similar parts in our company, and actuator for turbocharger. Nowadays, many cars are applying actuators for better performance, and also we producing turbocharger with Borg, which was global company. So we are not big company in our tour business, but now we are highly growing company. So we have planned to open up overseas plants in few years. We have planned to open European plants and China plants mainly. Then we hope to extend our business in few years. And we also have many business in Korea already. Totally, we have 7 or 8 overseas plants in next 2 years. By that effort, we are reaching top rank in Korea. 100% of the market are ours. We have 100% of market share in Korea, which is very huge, I think. As I told you, we are running auto parts, but we also have die forging part that Sean does, and wind power business and flange and other business. We also have UBC. Do you know UBC? Which is Broadcasting Center in Ulsan. We also have Ulsan Broadcasting Center. It's awkward, but it means Comtech is kind of new challenge for us, because we are mainly do die forging business. What Comtech does is quite different from that. We are developing engine parts. We established in 2001. So it means we are very young and fresh in our group. Our manufacturing location is Jincheon, which is 1 hour away from Seoul, very close. But you are not very familiar with that name of the location. And our annual revenue is $269 million USD, which is very small in our business part. But the revenue is growing up, has been growing up. Our employees are 355. As I told you, I'm gonna explain about quality, delivery, and cost and technology for the next few slides. For a better quality, we prepare IT system that is included few things, but I can explain, but it usually takes long time, so I'm just gonna skip the part. We have many measuring machines for high quality, and we also have measuring machines for checking out every defect. By the effort, we got many qualifications from nations and some administrations. And delivery. As I told you, our global business are getting bigger and bigger. So we have a plan to build a Chinese plant in some area here. Not for plant, might be Chongqing, and only one of the plants will be run in 2 or 3 years later. And we also have a European plant in Romania. I'm not very familiar with the pronunciation of Romanian words, but there's a very possible location for future business in European plant. Technology. We are investing 9.9 million for our future business, which is bigger, big. And We also have R&D center for developing another for finding out new business opportunity, which is located in Hwaseong-si. It's also one hour away from Seoul. In the R&D center, 60 employees are working in there. These are the product range of our company. As I told, Egr Valve, actuator, and vacuum pump, and solenoid valve. And the revenues are highly come from Egr Valve since 2011. As I told you, many of the items are dominating Korean market. Especially vacuum pump takes 90% of market share in Korea. Egr Valve also takes 90% of market share in Korea. And actuators, especially, there are two types of actuators: pneumatic actuators and electric actuators. But we are only have a strength in electric actuators, not pneumatic one. But the electric part, we take 90% of market share in Korea. And this is also electric actuator, but it only apply to the intake manifold. It takes 100% market share in Korea. So as I told you, we are the very leading company in Korean market, and we reached 297 million USD last year. And the revenue are gradually, dramatically increasing. Yeah, the last part is cost. I'm afraid that I don't have any authority to tell you about the cost directly. So we're gonna take this matter at the table later on. We are contact, and you can recognize why we are the #1 market leader in Korea at the table. Thank you.
Good. I hope that you can take many of the things that we covered in this workshop, that you can use them in your next presentation. Please remember the techniques, the tips I gave you, especially for delivery style, body language, right? I hope you can incorporate those and understand that some of these ideas can be very effective, especially when delivering a presentation to foreign audiences, right? We talked about introduction, body, and conclusion. Try to incorporate some of these steps. Be clear to your audience. Sometimes when I hear presenters, I can follow their presentation very clearly because I can hear the steps that they're taking. Also, they're very careful to provide transitions, and their closing is very clear, right? If I don't hear a transition to a closing and they suddenly end, it seems like the ending of their presentation was too abrupt. Okay? So it's a good idea to try to incorporate a good, strong ending. Tell the audience what you're doing, okay? Maybe not all of these techniques can be applicable to every business presentation, but I hope that some of these techniques will help you think about and plan your next presentation and give you good ideas for preparing your next successful presentation. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention and your hard work this time. Okay. Thank you. I have something to give to you before you leave.